Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As promised in the previous video, I'm reviewing the work of another Australian photographer and author, publisher, and he's an amazing sort of a craftsman. He's one of Australia's really unsung photographers in my opinion. Probably in the right circles they know who he is, but he's absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to show you a couple of his books. I'm going to have some links to his website and to some other things that he's done. And a truly remarkable photographer, and he does a lot of work with drones now, but he specialises in a lot of he's got a business based in Adelaide I think, but he specialises in a lot of work on the River Murray, which I think he might come from there, and he's done a lot of drone work as well. So I'm going to give you some links to his websites where you can see some of the amazing work that he's done. So his name, without further ado, is Shane Strudwick. I don't know Shane personally. I did ring him up at one stage because Jackson, who was on the last video, who I was talking about, his grandmother actually knew Shane, and because of that I rang Shane about something probably a year ago now, about maybe putting together a book of my own. I was after some advice, but I don't know him personally. Anyway, so what does Shane do? Well, this is a book that he produced a few years ago. He's done a few books, and this one is The Paddle Steamer Melbourne. Photography by Shane Strudwick from Discover the River Murray, and the photography in this book, and this was the centenary of the Paddle Steamer Melbourne. This is another one of these paddle steamers. Let's just show you the cover of that. There's a lineup of some of the paddle steamers that ply up and down the River Murray there. Each year I think they have a river run of a lot of these boats along the South Australian part of the river, but well, this one's actually been autographed as well. And there's some work that he's done. You recently remember I did a video on the paddle steamer Marion. Well, there's some photos that he's taken on something to do with the paddle steamer Marion. And it's a lovely book. It's a hardcover one. You can probably get softcover versions of this. And he's got a lot of historical photos in here as well. So there's some of that sort of stuff as well. So Jackson's sort of heading in the direction of doing some of this sort of thing, I would think, who I spoke about before, Jackson Wickham. This one here is really worth getting because this is a whole book that he's done on the Murray River, which, you know, is where my wife comes from, the Riverland at Renmark on the Upper Murray they call it in South Australia. And One River Many Lands, photography and text by Shane Strudwick. And he's got some amazing stuff in here, whole collections of photography and stories about towns, big wool sheds and things, all the property. He's just got a huge collection of things that he's got in this book, and a lot of this is actually available on the website, the Murray River website that he put together, I think it is. And he's just an amazing author. I'll just read a little bit, and prolific. I'll just read this. I don't know how long ago this book was done. Shane Strudwick is a freelance photographer and award-winning graphic designer. He is the director and owner of Design Train, a boutique design studio based in Adelaide, South Australia. Shane's clients have included the Department of Education, Loreto College, Autism South Australia, Field of Steel, the Law Society and Kidney Health Australia, along with hundreds of small and medium-sized businesses and councils. A passionate photographer, excuse me, for over 25 years, specialising in landscape and environmental photography. The Murray River has become his great passion. He is now one of the world's largest Murray River photographic collections, with more than 20,000 images. And that was, when was this done? This was done a few years back now. But I would say that he's got a lot more than that. But the different places that he covers in this are in Victoria and New South Wales and South Australia. Corryong, Albury, Rutherglen, Corowa, Yarrawonga, Cobram, Tocumwal, Mafura. These are all Australian names, of course, on the River Murray. Echuca, Moama, Barham, Coondrook, Swan Hill, Robinvale, Euston, Mildura, Wentworth, Renmark, Paringa, Berry, Loxton, Barmera, Waikerie, Morgan and Cadell, Mannum, Murray Bridge, Tailem Bend, Goolwa and Hindmarsh Island, and Meningie and the Coorong. That's right down the end of the Murray where it empties into the sea in South Australia at the Coorong, down past Victor Harbour there, near Goolwa. And so there you are, shown Strudwick. If you can order some of these books, you might be able to, or if you want to get into some really good stuff, but have a look at his things online that I'll put links to. And to me, he should be getting a lot more press than he does. And but he's a working photographer, and he does it very well, and has an excellent eye, and a great historian and craftsman. And I would recommend, if you can have a look at all of that, that you do so. So there you go. Thanks again. When I finish reading the book about Frank Hurley, I'll do a full review on that one. And I'm working on the next, before the end of the week, I hope to put up my video of our trip on the Proud Mary. So once again, thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you wish, and we'll see you next time. See you later. I can see that ding that's going up on there. A friend of mine is sending me some photos. I better have a look.